get maybe just 20 or 25 minutes of your time, Eshio.
No problem. Yeah.
Yes, Eshio, God, thank you so much. But really, sir, you have to write a book for people like us to read. Because when I go online to go and do research, I didn't get all this information that you're sharing with us today. So it's important for us to have a reference book where we can pick at any time and educate ourselves. I pray that God will give you longevity and soundness of health for you to be able to do.
Amen.
I know that you're a very busy person,
Ah,
and
too much.
I know. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to get all of these people so that you can actually write this book. But quickly, because I know that we've run out of time, even though everybody have been enjoying the session, I've been enjoying it as well. I would like to ask, because I understand that the likes of you and Professor Wole Soyinka had to flee flee and exile when the opposing powers of oppression was too much for you guys, and it's near a death situation for both of you with all of the information that you've shared with me earlier. So my question now is, are our youth even ready to fight, let alone the face the oppression of our times today?
I think it's unfair on the youths of Nigeria to keep asking if they are ready to fight. They are fighting already. They are fighting daily. They are fighting a huge battle. Wait now. You think fighting on the street is where they are fighting against hunger. They are fighting against unemployment. They are fighting against the things that ordinary people abroad don't have to worry about. They are fighting for water. They are fighting for electricity. They are fighting against insecurity. They are fighting against ignorance. They are fighting against diseases. A Nigerian cannot fall sick and be sure that he will not die in the next 2 hours just because of ordinary oxygen. A man cannot have an accident between Lagos and Ibadan and he can guarantee that he will get an ambulance to pick him up from there. So that is a struggle on its own. And that is why when we are blaming people, you have to fight for your right, you have to fight for your right. Look, if you live in Britain, you can afford to go and demonstrate in front of number 10 Downing Street till tomorrow because you know that hunger is out of your problem. Homelessness is out of your problem. If you want to eat burger, even where you are demonstrating, some people, some burger shops will come and give you free food. In Nigeria, the rich are on the side. On one side, the poor are on that side. And the rich are not bothered that for as long as they are making their own money, why should I had friends who told me when I contested the election that they are sorry. They can't help me, that they only deal with the man on the seat. Then I asked, so how will I get on the seat if you don't help me? But that's why I said it's a catch-22 situation. Nigeria is not like all those European countries where they don't have all the problems. So for you, I told you about preparation and readiness.
Ben, sir.
Nigerians cannot prepare for the kind of battle that you have in mind when they are already fighting internal battles within their own minds, within their own homes, within their own immediate environment. Exactly. That's the problem. So a miracle can happen.
Sir, I have to ask this question before I let you go, because with everything that you've shared, let me say, what accounts can you render on your presidential aspiration in Nigeria? Because I need to ask, is it dead or is it still an ambition? Because we need people like you to be in position. Because I don't understand. You need to lead us right. We need someone like you who is rich in knowledge.
Madam, look, let me show you. I show it every day to people. Look behind me. What do you see here?
Books.
I need to chew. I still have more in front there. I need to chew all these books. And I'm buying more every day. I need to chew them. And I need to write my own books. William Shakespeare, look, the biggest battle I need to fight now is to provide information and knowledge, useful information and knowledge to my people. So that 200 years from now, 300 years from now, they will know that once upon a time, a Dele Momodu lived, and these are his works. We all read William Shakespeare today. I never met William Shakespeare.
Then.
You understand? So
Yes.
we are all reading the Bible today. We are reading about Aristotle, reading about Socrates, reading about Plato. How many? Over 2,000 years ago,
Then.
they existed. So that is my mission. My dream now is not about being the president of Nigeria, except I'm drafted by one of the two top parties, as I mentioned. If they come and say, Dele, we think your experience and exposure globally will be useful for our country, we want you to join us, and then that's fine. But that I would leave. Look, let me tell you, if a man is lucky in Nigeria, you will live to be 80 years old. That the average lifespan is over 50. I'm already 60. It means I've lived over 3/4 of my lifespan. So I don't have time. I pity men in their 70s, in their 80s who are still pursuing politics. I don't know what they are pursuing. Maybe they have something to offer. I don't have anything against them. But me, that's not my own. That's not my own plan. That's not my
Thank you.
plan.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to salute your resilience and your strategy for diversification, because I know that this pandemic draws lots of lessons from all of us, including you. And it's a changing process for every one of us. And it has shown in your own many walks of life. One of this is the session we are having, because if not for pandemic, I'm very sure we will be physically at your hand to grant the interview. I also observed that you are one of the swiftest journalists, yes, swiftest journalists to align with the online platform earlier, even before the pandemic. So it shows that you have foresight, you are very rich in knowledge. And I want to say thank you for leading people like us, because I emulate you a lot, I respect you, and
Thank you.
it's an honor to have you as my mentor. So I think the question I'm going to ask, which will be my last question now because of time, I wish I can ask you loads of questions. I know that you have other things you have to do as well. Is that how has the evolution for you been so far regarding the dynamic of this pandemic, in terms of how it has impacted our businesses or your businesses?
Well, like you said, before the pandemic, I was already preparing. It's about having foresight.
Then,
If there's one thing I gained from contesting the presidential election in 2011, it was social media. Because I was the only Nigerian ever to appoint a 26-year-old man as my campaign manager. And so, since we didn't have enough resources to fight the battle, we had to use social media. So, after I lost the election, I now converted that social media to my personal use. So if you check my Instagram handle, you will see Dele Momodu Ovation. So it's a combination of two brands, brand Dele Momodu and brand Ovation.
Innovation.
You understand? So both of them, in fact, initially people were telling me, oh, why don't you separate them? I said, don't worry. There are not too many people who can build double brands in the world. You have only a few of them, whereby if you mention Virgin Atlantic, your mind will go to Richard Branson. If you mention Richard Branson, your mind will go to Virgin Atlantic. So it's the same thing I've succeeded in doing, that anywhere you see Ovation,
big strategy.
Your mind must go to Dele Momodu, and wherever you see Dele Momodu, your mind must go to Ovation. So that is the whole idea. And so when the pandemic came, about 2 or 3 young guys called me up and said they wanted to interview me on this. I've been seeing Instagram Live. So I didn't understand, what is this Instagram Live? They said they are doing. So by the time I did one, did two, I said, if these young guys are calling me for interviews, am I not foolish? Why am I not calling all my global contacts? I know presidents, I know ministers, I know governors. So by the time I called the chairman of Governors Forum, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, it was my first guest. I said, okay, it don't happen. That was how I started. And today, I mean, I'm sure I have some of the best interviews
Of course, they're
Of,
not. You have the best interview thus far in Nigeria.
well, I don't know, but I know that I'm trying my best.
You're a human resource person, and I think that's one of the things I've observed about you, that you nurture relationship and you don't look down on anybody. So, which is one of the key things that one has to pick from your style of leadership. I wish I can go on and on, sir. I have
Thank you.
questions that I wanted to ask you on
Ask,
NCP,
oh,
on
don't say
AD,
I'm the one that ran away from your question. Ask.
as well.
Ask. Today is Sunday, if you want to.
What let me ask you, Sam? So, what accounts can you render on your presidential what will I call it now? On election, in terms of, I know that a lot of youths today will claim that the incumbent powers have denied them entry into political circle because of cabals and high powers and the likes and all of that. What response do you have
my
for them regarding
response
that?
is simply that it is not true.
Okay.
It is not true. You see, the cabal, they are there. But if you have a superior fire, I've told you, the mistake of everybody is to think they can stand alone, walk alone, and arrive their destination alone. No. Imagine, even within the young ones, when they had something, they had an agreement that Sowore, Mogalu, Fela Durotoye, and others should come together and present one of them as the candidate. It did not fly. Everybody chose to go alone. There is no way they would have won that election. When Mr. Donald Duke he visited me, and we sat down together alone for several hours. That day, he told me that the analysis I gave him, nobody has ever in this life given him that kind of analysis. But yet, people persuaded him to say, no, you shouldn't join PDP. You shouldn't join. You see, we have this crazy mindset in Nigeria of thinking that leadership is about getting a saint into power.
Exactly.
That's what led us to Buhari. There is no country in the world where a saint is the president. Mention one if you know it. That's the thing. So Nigerians always say, we want to say, that was my own mindset when I went to Labour initially. That, those two other parties, they are useless parties. I don't want to mingle with them. So are you going to import saints from heaven to come and vote for you on the day of election? It's a game of number.
Ben.
You understand? So my experience has taught me that you need saints and sinners, but it is for the leader himself to be upright. Chief Abiola used to say, if you want to know if a fish is bad, smell the head. If the head is bad, then the whole body is gone. So that's the problem with Nigeria. Nigerians should stop looking for saints. Look for performers. Yes. If you have a performer, you will not even notice if he's stealing. Because everything is working.
Ben, it's true. It's giving back. Infrastructure facilities working
Everything would work. Who cared? People complain. The Lekki Bridge in front of us here, that new Lekki Bridge, when they were doing it, they complained it's too expensive. But are we not driving on it today?
Ben.
When they did the Lekki toll gate, people complained. In fact, some people blocked the place. They will not allow them to be collecting tolls and all that. Today, are we not paying tolls? Is the road not being maintained? The road from the airport in the past, International Airport Road, we used to drive straight into Mafoluku, where you had a lot of miscreants and all those things. But today, if you are driving, there's no day I drive on that road, I don't pray for the former governor who did it. Ambody. It does not matter who did it, just do it.
Just do it. That's right. That's the reason why they were appointed to serve.
Exactly, just do it. But we're looking for a man who left power 30 years earlier. That is the only one who can do it. I have a friend who, when they say only one man can do something, we say to Bakunko. So if the person dies,
there's power beyond one.
it means no.
Yeah.
So what it means is that there is nobody who can do it alone.
Yeah.
So that's the problem we have in Nigeria. So we need to get serious. Our young people must know that if I said that during my presidential race, that the biggest problem I've identified with Nigerians is that issue of self-doubt. We doubt everything. If you say something that they will tell you it's not possible. If you say that, they will say it's not possible. So what then is possible?
Mm.
You understand? So what is possible?
I understand that.
Everything is possible if you want to do it. If you want to, the best thing, that's why they say history is a very good teacher.
Mm.
You must learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't repeat the same mistakes.
Ben, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that. And I think that I just might want to take you back to what Professor Wole Soyinka once said, and he released an article that challenged the youth, saying that the likes of Gowon became a president at 29. Murtala became what's it called, a head of state at 27. I'm not so sure, but I know that they are both under 30. And the article said that youth of today are not ready. And it was articulated then at the time that it was going around WhatsApp and all of that. Do you agree with what Wole Soyinka said in that article?
Well, I don't know. I didn't read that article. I don't know if he said it, but because there are too many fake stories
Fake
online
stories.
these days, credited to big people. There was one credited to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu a few days. Immediately I read the language. I said, definitely this is not from Tinubu. You know, people just, but the truth of the matter is that once upon a time, a lot of very young Nigerians, vibrant Nigerians, the Bola Iges, the Ulu lawyers, all of them, they were in their 20s. When they started the MT Bulls, they were in their 20s. In fact, what became an Awolowo started from when he was a student abroad. What became the Zikis movement started from when they were in school and they were reading about the struggle in America, the struggle for emancipation. So that fired them up that we must do the same for our country, and they came back to fight, the colonial masters and things like that. But don't forget that the times have changed. The problems bedeviling us today is no longer colonialism, but neocolonialism, post-colonialism. So people now, we have new colonial masters in black skin. They are even worse than their own oppressors. I like to quote from the book by the Brazilian author called Paulo Freire, Pedagogy of the Oppressed. The oppressed man has only one dream, to become an oppressor. So that's why you will see a man who was struggling before he got appointed into power. As soon as he gets power, he wants to build the biggest mansion in the village so that people will know that he has arrived. That's what we call he has arrived. Oh, today the money has come. And as soon as he leaves power, the money will finish. Then the house becomes derelict again. So it's stupidity. It's stupidity. I believe that the battle should not be about age. It should be about common sense. It shouldn't be about age. It should be about... There are people who are old, but who have more common sense than the young people, who are more careful, who are not profligate. One of the biggest problems afflicting Nigerian politics is profligacy. People spend money. They want to live like capitalists. And I always say that you cannot practice capitalism without capital. Nigeria cannot afford the expensive nature of our politics. We can't afford it. In fact, if I could have my way, they should scrap either the House of Reps or Senate and merge them into one. Is it because what are they doing? At the same time, their work is almost similar in nature. Their duty is to legislate.
Yeah.
Their job is to legislate. And so if your job is also, you can have the same parliamentary system that we had before. It's through up better materials. But today there has been a proliferation of politicians. By the time you take care of almost 1,000 politicians or 500 or more politicians in Abuja alone, That is why we don't have money for capital development. There's no money for infrastructure. Every time you say, why can't we have good Medicare? They will tell you there is no money. The money that we give to National Assembly alone and their dependents, please, I don't say there's anything wrong in paying your legislature. What I'm saying is, can we afford that huge volume of politicians? The answer is no. And that I stand to be corrected. The answer is no. Nigeria is practicing capitalism without capital. The president of Nigeria is traveling. He has to travel big because he's the president of Nigeria. And I remember that before Buhari came, he said he will sell off the presidential fleet. But of course, as soon as you get power, some people will come and say, this is your own turn. Why do you want us to suffer? We can't suffer. So rather than sell off, in fact, they will acquire more. So these are the things causing problems. Until you have a leader one who believes in the unity, let me summarize this thing before we go off. You need a leader who believes in the unity of Nigeria and demonstrates it in every way. You need a leader who is ready to sacrifice and say, no, I'm the servant of the people. So I'm not going to live bigger and larger than the rest of Nigerians. There is not, trust me, there is no reason why a Nigerian leader cannot live modestly. In fact, one of the things that attracted people to Buhari was his modesty, his humility. You understand? To say, even when he was coming, there are a lot of things that he promised, I will not do this, I will do so. That attracted people to him naturally. So if he came to power, let's say we had 11 jets in the presidential fleet, and he decides to even sell, let's say 8, even 6, as a symbolic gesture. Do you know how Nigerians will hail that? Let me tell you, there are simple things that you will do in life, and people will not notice that you are still enjoying life. I'm not saying our president should walk on foot. I'm not saying our president should not fly presidential jet. But I'm saying our president and his family and his people should be able to manage a few jets. It's all about planning. I'm saying the president does not have to go everywhere he's invited. In fact, the more you go out, the more disrespected you will become. Anything that is too common. People don't know why Michael Jackson, of all his family members, was the most revered. It was because of scarcity. He created human scarcity. You would hardly, how many people can say, I saw Michael Jackson? I was one of his biggest fans. I attended his funeral in Los Angeles. That's how much I love Michael, but I never saw him. Whereas I saw Janet Jackson, I saw Latoya Jackson, I saw Randy Jackson, I saw Jermaine Jackson, but I never saw Michael, who was my idol. So it's the same thing in politics. You see, someone needs to teach our politicians strategy. How you can be a Mandela. How you can be very popular under 6 months. Come and meet me, I will teach you. It's just for you to razzle and dazzle.
Go and meet him.
I tell people that I can teach you how to live like a billionaire without having 1 million. People see me and they will say, oh, Dele Momodu is a very flamboyant. People describe it as a very flamboyant. I'm the one who knows my secret strategy. Yes. I know how to sleep in the best hotels where the presidents will sleep and I will not pay the same amount they are paying. It's about experience and exposure. I am telling you, I've been with Nigerian politicians before at one of my favorite hotels in New York, the Waldorf Astoria. My suite was far bigger than their suite, and they were paying ×4 or ×5 of what I paid for that suite. Because before they got power, they never slept in such a suite. They never knew that if you are traveling, if you book your ticket well in advance, you will get it cheaper than if you buy last minute.
Even when
if they don't know how to go on the website and search for bargains. In the night, in the middle of the night, if you wake up, you go on the website, you can get a £5,000 ticket for 1,500. So I am telling you that Nigerian leaders need people like us who can teach them how to save money. Because part of our problem is that we're just throwing money away. Trust me, 75% of the money we're throwing away, we can save and use on very useful things. But some people will even get angry if you tell them to save that money. They will get angry with you. You become an enemy of the state instantly. But we are too exposed not to make impact in government. We are too exposed. I'm not a saint. Nobody is a saint. But I am saying if you love your country, you must pity your country. We must save Nigeria from perdition. We must save Nigeria from the imminent collapse. Some people think, let another president come, spend 8 years. 8 years is a long time in the life of a country. Buhari has already spent over 5 years. We have not been able to complete Lagos-Ibadan road. Why? Because we lack the resources. But we always find the resources to service our politicians. But no resources to service our infrastructure deficit.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. I think we can go on and on and on. Nobody, in fact, people are still joining in and all, and it's so enlightening that we have someone like you. And let me for you to continue to educate people like us, and we can always, find someone that we can actually go to when we have so to speak. So
thank you so much. I hope you are going to upload the interviews.
Of course, yes, I will, sir. I will, sir. We must say that, sir. So before we go, I think that this might be my last question because I actually know another 30 minutes. I know we can go on and on. I can't but mention the likes of Yele Sowore and Fela Durotoye as a figure in the circle of youth in terms of political struggles. Are there glimpses of hope for people like them that will further stand as an encouragement for other youths?
Oh, there is no doubt. There is hope for everybody, as I said. But hope without strategy is hopeless. Yes, hope without strategy. There must be strategy. I've learned my own lessons. Omoyele has learned his own lessons. Fela has learned his own. Mogalu has learned his own lessons. Alisa Sheode has learned his own. So Fashua has learned his own. All of them, they are brilliant guys. Very brilliant guys. But whatever yardstick you want to apply. But I am now reasonably convinced that they won't make it unless they get a proper structure. And that structure, unfortunately, is only available today. I don't know about tomorrow. Maybe APC will break up. We don't know. Maybe PDP will break up. We don't know. But they must be in either of the two largest political parties. If they are not there, it's nearly impossible. I won't say it's impossible, except there is a revolution and you seize power by force.
I agree with you.
The way Nigeria is currently configured will not favor them standing alone. They must come together. They must proliferate one of the top two parties, and then they'll be closer. People will. There is no party Yele, for example, will go to that they won't listen to him. I don't say, and he has the power of the media behind him. He's been able to build his reputation, his integrity. So the problem I see is the same problem I believe I had, and that problem is our inability to galvanize the generality of Nigerians to action. If someone like me with my popularity and everything, I'm getting only 26,000 votes in a country of 200 million, isn't that disgraceful? So, but the truth is bitter. The truth is there was no way my party could have won that election.
I won that election.
I was hoping on a miracle to happen. And miracles hardly happen in politics. That is the problem that we have today. So people must first of all go back and re-strategize. But where you have 98 presidential candidates, nothing is going to happen. No. Nothing is going to happen. We need, in fact, those who created all those political parties, they also did that deliberately. It's to frustrate young people because they know they will be ego-driven. You know, when you are ego-driven, yes, everybody wants their name as a presidential candidate. When I contested, I was very, very serious. That's why I went to Labour. I thought I'll be able to get all the Nigerian workers under one umbrella. That was what I thought. But it didn't fly. It didn't fly. So the young ones, if they truly love Nigeria, must come together, the brightest of them, and there's an easy way out. Let them do what is practiced in Britain. I give solutions. Every statement I make, I provide solutions. I don't just talk theory.
Which is
let them form a shadow cabinet. The best way to do it is to have a shadow cabinet. They will already have who will be Minister of Information, who will be Minister of Agriculture, who will be Minister of Works, who will be among themselves.
Yes.
So, and they must make sure it cuts across the length and breadth of Nigeria so that it's not one-sided. So that way, amongst them, they let them vote amongst themselves for a president. If amongst you, amongst 10 people, you can't agree who will be a president. So how can you now want to be president of a country?
Yes,
10 people cannot agree on who will be president. So if you agree that it's Sowore you want, then pick Sowore. If you vote and Sowore does not make it as president, then plead with him that you can be a good minister of defense or minister of whatever he says. So that way, there is already a sense of belonging. That was what I planned to do during my own time when I approached El-Rufai, that I wanted El-Rufai to be my vice president. You understand? Because I respect his brain. Me, I look at people's brain. For me, the first prerequisite is something how sound is this person?
How intelligent he is.
So if they form that shadow cabinet, then there will be less pressure. Nobody will feel left out. But their inability to agree and form a shadow cabinet, I think, is part of their biggest mistake. So, but I'm saying it publicly now that next time, one, let them go into a major political party. And let them not discriminate, because discrimination is discrimination. Let them not say they don't want old people. That cannot be the solution. Let them work with everybody, whether old, but let them look for the best material. If you are going to the World Cup, there are countries that will go and pick. I remember one when Cameroon brought in Roger Miller. Even at the time, the man was already an old man. You still need a few experienced hands. You cannot kill all your old men. We all pray for our parents to grow old. So you will not say, because of politics, that all old people must die for you to take power. It doesn't work like that. So you must work with everybody. You must work with everybody. So get them together, have the shadow cabinet, and then everybody knows I have to go and work hard for us to get government because I'm already guaranteed a position in that government. I think what usually happens is that people feel left out, especially those who are expecting. Like when I was supporting Buhari, I didn't join their party. If I was expecting a position, the first thing I would have done was to join APC, and then I'll go and fight with him. There is no way APC today will not find something for me if I needed something. Do you understand? So, but there are people who are professional career politicians. If you don't give them something in government, you have killed them. They have nothing else to do. But me, because I have a job, I can walk away. That's the problem. So I am telling the people who want to be president in 2023, and then don't wait till 2022. People think you will wait till 2022 and suddenly declare, I want to run. You are wasting your time.
You have to start planning now.
Anybody wants to be president of Nigeria by now, only Yorubas have a saying, so whosoever wants to be president of Nigeria should have started the work 20, 30 years ago. It's not an overnight thing. It doesn't mean you would have joined politics 30 years ago, but you would have started networking. You must network. You want to be the president of Nigeria, nobody knows you beyond your village. How can you be the president of Nigeria? You want to be president of Nigeria, you don't have any friends in different parts of Nigeria. You want to be president of Nigeria, you have abused all other people, all other Nigerians to say they are useless, they are brainless, they are this, they are that. They are going to work against you. So you must work for the unity of the country. You must be sensitive to the ethnicity and the religious challenges of Nigeria. That's it.
Thank you, Eshe Bobby. Thank you so much. I want to salute your resilience, your wealth of knowledge, and also your strategy for diversifying into lots of things that you are doing today. I know that the pandemic drew a lot from us, and it's changing the process for many walks of life. One of this is this one that we are having on this platform. So I say again, thank you so much, sir. I've learned a lot from you. I'm very sure a lot of people have learned from you as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know that a lot of people right now have jotted down things that I myself didn't even know before, which is very important. That is the reason why I'm very strategic when I'm bringing people on board, people that how I can impact people wherever they are globally. So thank you again, sir, for joining me today. It has been an absolute privilege, Bonnie, to have you here. So
thank you.
The words of history on democracy and governance in Nigeria should be a curriculum that should be taught in school, so that everybody can instill that spirit of patriotism in Nigeria today. So Esheungo, I hope that we should talk to lots of people that can help us to bring people like you, so that my help Latima, infuse all of this in the youth of today, and even our own children that are growing up. Because if we can arrest them right now, the future will be better, I believe.
Amen. Amen. Well, we'll continue to play our role, our part, and hope that something will happen before our time expires. You know, we have been in this game for too long, and it's so painful, it's so frustrating that what I see is all movement but no motion. People are just moving, but there's no motion. And only God can help us. But like I said, there are basic things we must do first. So we can't just be complaining and they won't allow us. They won't allow us. But have we also prepared?
Have you tried? Yeah.
So you have to prepare before you try. You have to be ready before you try. Yeah. So that's it. So God bless you, my sister. Now let me go and sleep a bit. Let me go and rest a bit.
All right, thank you, sir. I love you so much. I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Thank you, and my regards to your family. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, sir. Bye, sir. All right, guys. I'm very sure you all have picked loads of messages from what he has shared with us today. Thank you all for joining me. Again, we will do this in 2 weeks' time. And I pray that God will give us longevity before, so that all of us can meet again in sound health. All right. I think this is why I say bye now. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.